Southeast Asia builds more motorcycles than the rest of the world combined, and almost nobody in the West knows it. While you have been ignoring these machines, riders in Thailand and Vietnam have been quietly riding circles around your overpriced Western alternatives for decades. Better engineering, lower prices, tougher builds, and here is the kicker. You cannot even buy half of them where you live. 12 bikes, 0 excuses. Let us go. Number 12, GPX Legend. 250. We are starting with a bike that will make cafe racer fans do an actual double take, because this thing has no business looking this good for $2,300. Thailand-based GPX Moto built the Legend 250 as a direct attack on the Western cafe racer market, and the result is a twin-cylinder, oil-cooled, 234 cubic centimeter machine wrapped in chrome, leather, and attitude. It pushes approximately 16 horsepower and 11.5 pound-feet of torque from a characterful parallel twin that sounds bigger than it is, and it backs up the swagger with a dual-disc front braking setup that most bikes at this price point refuse to offer. Here is what makes this genuinely special. Western cafe racer alternatives at this price point give you a single-cylinder thumper that vibrates your fillings loose and pretends to be cool. The Legend 250 gives you a twin, a retro silhouette that looks like it costs $15,000. And thigh build quality that punches embarrassingly hard above its weight class. The components are tight, the chrome is real. The fit and finish will make you question everything you thought you knew about Asian budget bikes. The one catch? GPX exports are mostly limited to neighboring Asian countries. So if you are sitting in Ohio reading this, you are going to need a very motivated importer to make this dream happen, which makes it exclusive, which makes it cooler. The GPX Legend 250 also hides a mechanical secret that most buyers never think to ask about. That oil-cooled parallel twin runs without a radiator or coolant circuit, which means there is no water pump to seize, no coolant hose to split on a hot day, and no cooling system to develop strong opinions about failing at the worst possible moment. Suzuki used this same philosophy on the Bandit 1200 and called it genius. GPX used it at $2,300 and called it standard equipment. The result is a drivetrain that requires almost nothing from you beyond oil changes and the basic fuel maintenance, which is exactly the kind of relationship you want with a motorcycle that looks this good. But if the Legend 250 is a stylish brawler, our next bike is the no-nonsense workhorse that has quietly been outlasting everything else in its class for 20 years running. Number 11, Honda Wave 110i. Before you roll your eyes at a 109cc commuter moped being on this list, just wait. Because the Honda Wave 110i is basically the AK-47 of small motorcycles. Brutally simple, indestructible, and copied by approximately 100 manufacturers who all failed to replicate what makes it special. The engine is a single-cylinder, 4-stroke, air-cooled unit making 8.8 horsepower at 7,500 RPM and 6.3 pound-feet of torque at 5,500 revolutions per minute. Those numbers are modest. What is not modest is the engine lifespan, which doubles the life expectancy of most Chinese knockoffs that have been desperately trying to clone it for decades. Honda achieved this with tolerances and metallurgy that simply should not be possible at a $1,400 price point. The telescopic front suspension is what really separates this from the imitation army. Bangkok potholes, Hanoi construction debris, whatever your city has decided to leave in the road this week, the Wave 110 processes it all with engineering dignity. It is the benchmark, the gold standard, the thing every other moped manufacturer measures itself against and comes up short. It is widely export available worldwide through Thai distributors. So unlike our last entry, you can actually get your hands on one. And at around $1,400, the financial risk of owning a motorcycle with this reliability record is approximately zero. What nobody talks about with the Wave 110i is the global counterfeiting problem it has inspired and what that problem proves about the original. There are dozens of Chinese manufacturers producing Wave clones with names like Wavo, Super Wave, and Wave Pro, selling them for less money and marketing them aggressively to budget markets worldwide. Every single one of them has a shorter engine lifespan. Every single one uses softer metals, looser tolerances, and cheaper gasket materials. The clone market exists because the original is so good that everyone wants a piece of the reputation, and the clone market fails because Honda's manufacturing standards are not something you can photocopy. When the imitation industry has spent 20 years trying to copy your commuter moped and still cannot quite get there, that is not luck. That is engineering. If the Wave is the reliable workhorse, the next bike is what happens when Honda decides to give that same reliability a sport bike personality transplant. Subscribe to this channel right now so you never miss a breakdown like this one. Number 10. Honda Winner X, also known as the RSX 150. Honda looked at the underbone sport bike category in Vietnam and said, and we are paraphrased here, let us embarrass everyone. The result was the Winner X, a 149 cubic centimeters, DOHC, liquid-cooled single that makes 15.4 horsepower at 9,000 revolutions per minute and 10 pound-feet of torque at 6,500 revolutions per minute, all housed inside an aggressive truss frame that gives it handling characteristics most riders associate with much bigger machines. $2,000. Let that land for a moment. At $2,000, you are getting DOHC valve timing, liquid cooling, and underbone frame architecture that provides exceptional rigidity and low-speed maneuverability, and Honda reliability in a package that directly rivals the Yamaha Exciter in one of the most fiercely competitive small displacement markets on Earth. Honda did not make the Winner X to be good enough. They made it to win. The name is not subtle. The high-revving reliability here is genuinely impressive. These engines are tuned to scream at 9,000 RPM repeatedly without complaint, because Vietnamese and Indonesian riders use these machines as their primary transportation across conditions that would make Western commuters weep. The build spec is not just sufficient, it is overbuilt for anything a Western suburb could throw at it. Available through Hani Motors Thailand for export, though getting one to your door requires some logistical creativity, completely worth the effort. Our next competitor, though, decided to one-up Honda with a feature so good it has its own separate marketing campaign. Number 9. Yamaha Exciter 155 VVA. Yamaha looked at Honda stealing glory with the Winner X and responded the way Yamaha always responds, by adding variable valve actuation to a 155 cubic centimeter commuter bike. Yes, really, VVA on a commuter. Because why not give a city bike the same technology found in performance cars? The numbers justify the audacity: 17.7 horsepower at 9,500 RPM and 10.6 pound-feet of torque at 8,000 revolutions per minute from a single-cylinder SOHC liquid-cooled engine at approximately $2,150. The VVA system optimizes valve timing across the RPM range, giving you strong low-end pull in traffic and a properly exciting top-end surge when you find a clear stretch of road. Then Yamaha went further and added an assist and slipper clutch on a 155cc commuter. We are not making this up. The slipper clutch prevents rear-wheel hop during aggressive downshifts, which is the kind of feature you normally find on superbikes that cost 25 times as much. Yamaha calls their underlying engine technology Blue Core, which is a fancy way of saying they engineered this thing to run smoother and more efficiently than standard 150cc competitors, and it genuinely does. The competition between the Winner X and the Exciter 155 is genuinely one of the most entertaining product rivalries in the global motorcycle industry. And the reason it matters beyond Southeast Asia is what it reveals about development priority. Honda and Yamaha are both throwing serious engineering resources at the 150cc underbone category because that is where the volume is, where the daily use demands are harshest, and where brand loyalty is won or lost for life. The result is two bikes that are dramatically better than anything their displacement and price point should logically produce. When manufacturers are competing this fiercely, the consumer wins. And since these machines cost $2,000 to $2,150 in their home markets, the consumer wins by a wide margin. Western riders spending $4,000 on equivalent displacement commuters should be aware this rivalry exists. It will ruin the purchase for them. We are sorry in advance. Available via global brokers from Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand. If the Exciter is the tech-forward choice, our next bike takes a completely different approach. Pure, timeless engineering that has not needed updating in decades. Number 8. Honda Super Cub C125. The Honda Super Cub is the best-selling motor vehicle in the history of human civilization. Not best-selling motorcycle, best-selling vehicle, full stop. 100 million units produced, more than any car, truck, or anything else with an engine ever made by anyone. And the modern C125 version makes us understand exactly why. The engine is a single-cylinder, 4-stroke, air-cooled 124.9 cubic centimeter unit, making 9.6 horsepower at 7,500 revolutions per minute and 7.7 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 revolutions per minute. Those are not exciting numbers. What is exciting is the hydraulic front disc brake with modern ABS on a retro-styled bike at $4,000, paired with a level of fit, finish, and material quality that Honda normally reserves for machines costing significantly more. The Super Cub C125 feels premium in your hands. The chrome work is immaculate. Every surface has been considered. Every component toleranced with the kind of obsessive attention to detail that makes you feel slightly guilty for planning to ride it in the rain. It is the motorcycle equivalent of a Rolex that also happens to be essentially unbreakable. Fully export available globally from Thailand. If understated excellence is your personality, this is your machine. But what if your personality is more? We need off-road capability wrapped in that same legendary Honda reliability. Number 7, Honda CT125. Honda took the Super Cub DNA, handed it to their adventure engineering team, and told them to make something indestructible. The CT125. Hunter Cub is what came out the other side. A scrambler-styled, trail-capable, absolutely charming machine at $4,000 that beats most Western, lightweight adventure bikes on pure trail reliability. The engine is the same 124.9 cubic centimeters air-cooled single as the Super Cub, making 8.8 horsepower at 7,000 revolutions per minute and 8.1 pound-feet of torque at 4,500 revolutions per minute. The character here comes from what surrounds that engine: a high-mounted scrambler exhaust, a stepped steel backbone frame, and suspension travel that handles light trail duty with genuine capability rather than the performance-adjacent attitude of most road bikes pretending to be adventurers. For its weight and displacement, the CT125 destroys Western lightweight alternatives on actual off-road durability. The construction is genuinely rugged. The ergonomics puts you in a commanding, upright position. And because it uses the most proven small displacement engine Honda has ever built, maintenance intervals are long, and the outcome of skipping one is not catastrophic. The Hunter Cub also carries something the spec sheet does not mention: cultural credibility that decades of overland adventure riders have quietly built for the Super Cub platform. From Austin Vince's legendary Mondo Enduro expedition to countless solo trans-Siberian crossings documented on forums that predate YouTube, the Super Cub architecture has proven itself on terrain and in conditions that proper adventure bikes with 3 times the displacement have failed to complete. The CT125 inherits that record. It is the lightweight overachiever of the adventure world, and at $4,000 with global export availability, it is also the most accessible entry point into genuine capability that Honda currently offers. The tall riders who swear by its bigger ADV cousins would be quietly impressed by how much of that capability lives in this smaller, cheaper, more honest machine. Fully export available globally from Thailand, the Hunter Cub handles trails with ease. Our next bike handles corners with fury, and it holds a title in its class that nobody in the West has bothered to challenge. Number 6, Suzuki Raider R150 Fi. The Suzuki Raider R150 Fi is the self-declared underbone king, which sounds like a dramatic marketing claim until you look at the engine specification and realize it might actually be underselling it. 147.3 cubic centimeters, DOHC, liquid-cooled single, 18.2 horsepower at 10,000 revolutions per minute, 10.2 pound-feet of torque at 8,500 RPM, $2,300. The Raider is the highest revving, most powerful engine in the underbone class, housed inside a perimeter frame that gives it handling characteristics that have made Filipino and Vietnamese riders absolutely evangelical about this machine for years. The key phrase is 10,000 revolutions per minute. Most bikes at this displacement are already running out of breath at 8,000. The Raider keeps pulling past that with Japanese-level internal durability protecting those high-revving internals from the kind of abuse that would shatter a lesser engine inside a a month. Suzuki engineered these internals to last at race-adjacent RPMs because in Southeast Asian markets, these are daily commuters, weekend racers, and everything in between. Availability is mostly domestic and regional, which makes this one a genuine sleeper for anyone outside Southeast Asia who manages to locate an exported example. Worth the search. And speaking of genuine sleepers, our next bike is technically an adventure scooter, but it is so much more than that description suggests. Number 5. Honda ADV 160. Honda looked at the adventure scooter category, identified every single weakness in the Italian competition, and methodically eliminated each one. The result is the ADV 160, a 156.9 cubic centimeters ESP Plus liquid-cooled automatic that produces 15.8 horsepower at 8,500 revolutions per minute and 10.8 pound-feet of torque at 6,500 revolutions per minute for approximately $4,400. The headline feature is the Showa twin rear suspension with sub-tanks. Sub-tanks. On an adventure scooter, the sub-tanks reduce heat buildup during extended use, which means the suspension performs consistently through urban punishment rather than fading after 20 minutes of stop-and-go traffic. This is how serious Honda was about making the ADV 160 genuinely capable rather than merely adventure-adjacent in styling. Electronics are superior to Italian equivalents at the same price point. Engine refinement is superior. Build quality is superior. And Honda managed to achieve all of this while keeping the price firmly in the accessible category. The ADV 160 is the kind of product that makes Italian scooter manufacturers deeply privately uncomfortable. Export available from Thailand and Indonesia. At $4,400, this is one of the best value propositions in the global scooter market today. Smash that like button right now. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it tells us to keep making content exactly like this. Number 4. Honda CB150R Exmotion. Honda Thailand looked at the European naked bike market, reverse-engineered what makes those machines desirable, and then produced something better for less money. The CB150R. Exmotion is the result, a 149.2 cubic centimeters DOHC liquid-cooled single making 16.8 horsepower at 9,500 revolutions per minute and 10 pound-feet of torque at 8,000 revolutions per minute, priced at approximately $3,200. The 41mm Showa inverted front forks are the headline, and they deserve to be. Fully inverted USD forks at this price and displacement are genuinely exceptional. You find the suspension specification on motorcycles costing 2 to 3 times as much. Honda put them on the CB150R because the Exmotion is not competing with other 150cc bikes. It is competing with European naked bikes, and it intends to win that comparison. What makes the 41mm Showa specification genuinely remarkable here is the context. Showa is not a budget suspension brand, slumming it at the entry level. Showa supplies front forks to Honda's CBR 1000RRR Fireblade, to Ducati, to Aprilia. Their inverted fork units appear on machines that serious riders spend serious money on, specifically because the suspension is that good. Honda Thailand chose Showa for the CB150R Exmotion, not because it was the affordable option, but because it was the correct option. And the cost was justified by a product philosophy that refused to cut corners on the component that most directly communicates riding confidence to the person holding the handlebars. When you tip the CB150R into a corner and the front end reports back exactly what the tire is doing beneath you, that is not a coincidence. That is Showa doing what Showa does, regardless of what the bike underneath it costs. The styling reinforces the ambition. This is a bike that looks and feels like something you should be paying far more for. Build quality is conspicuously excellent. Every surface suggests engineering seriousness. Thigh-built with Honda's global quality standards applied without compromise. Available through select Southeast Asian exporters, though availability outside the region requires active hunting, worth every effort. The Exmotion punches up. Our next bike defined an entire category of electric commuters from a market nobody expected. Number 3, DAT Bike Quantum. Nobody saw this coming. A Vietnamese startup building an electric motorcycle with a 174-mile range, instant torque, and commuter-proof durability for $1,600. The DAT Bike Quantum makes most Western electric scooters look like expensive science experiments. The mid-drive electric motor produces 7,200 watts at peak, translating to approximately 9.6 horsepower and 21 21 pound-feet of instant torque. That torque figure is not a typo. 21 pound-feet available immediately from 0 RPM. In city traffic, this thing simply disappears from the light while everything else is still thinking about it. The range figure is what separates it entirely from the Western competition. 173 miles on a single charge, achieved through battery technology specifically engineered for the demands of Vietnamese commuting, heat, humidity, heavy daily use, and rider weight loads that vary dramatically. The suspension setup, telescopic front and dual shock rear, is built for the rugged realities of Vietnamese roads, rather than the gentle pavement that most Western electric scooters are designed around. The broader story the DAT Bike Quantum tells is bigger than one electric motorcycle from Hanoi. Vietnam has been producing motorcycles for domestic use under Japanese license arrangements for decades, which means Vietnamese engineers have spent 30+ years learning exactly how Honda and Yamaha build reliable powertrains, then applying that knowledge to local problems with local solutions. The Quantum's battery engineering did not appear from nowhere. It came from a manufacturing culture that understands what durability actually means in a tropical, high humidity, high heat, high mileage, daily use environment. Western electric startups building scooters in climate-controlled California offices and testing them on smooth pavement are solving a different problem than the one DAT Bike solved. That difference is baked into every design decision the Quantum makes, and it shows in the range figure, the suspension choice, and the price point. Vietnam figured out practical electric mobility before most of the world realized practical electric mobility needed figuring out. Currently domestic only to Vietnam, which is the only disappointing part of this story, the DAT Bike Quantum is exactly what the global electric commuter market needs and cannot yet have. DAT Bike, if you are reading this, please figure out international distribution. The world is waiting. Until then, our next bike is available globally and represents Honda at their most quietly spectacular. Number 2, Honda Monkey 125. The Honda Monkey is the machine that proves premium quality has no minimum size requirement. At $4,200, it is the most expensive bike on this list per cubic centimeters, and it is worth every single cent because Honda built this thing like a piece of precision jewelry that also happens to be functionally indestructible. 124.9 cubic centimeters, single cylinder, 4-stroke, air-cooled engine. 9.3 horsepower at 6,750 revolutions per minute. 8.1 pound-feet of torque at 5,500 revolutions per minute. Upside-down USD front forks on a mini bike. A compact steel backbone frame with tolerances so tight it feels solid in a way that full-size motorcycles twice the price do not always manage. Chrome finishes that are actually chrome. Fit and finish details that would be impressive on a 1,000 cubic centimeters touring machine. The Monkey is built to the same attention to detail standard as Honda's full-size premium motorcycles, scaled down without any compromise to the quality philosophy. You can feel it the moment you touch one. Every surface, every control, every surface finish communicates engineering seriousness that is genuinely rare at any price point and astonishing at $4,200. Fully export available globally from Thailand. This is the easiest recommendation on this entire list, and yet somehow the #1 bike manages to combine the Monkey's quality standards with genuine practical daily capability and a real-world feature set that nothing else on this list can match. Number 1, Yamaha Finn 125i. Before you call us out for potential repeats, stay with us because the Yamaha Finn 125i is the wild card winner and the bike that most surprised us in researching this entire list. 125 cubic centimeters, single cylinder, 4-stroke, air-cooled engine making, approximately 9.4 horsepower and 7 pound-feet of torque, priced at $1,500. On paper, it sounds like the least exciting thing on this list. In practice, it is the most underrated machine in this entire lineup. The Finn runs a semi-automatic 4-speed rotary transmission, no clutch lever. You shift gears with your left foot and the transmission handles the clutch engagement automatically, which means you never stall, you never lurch, and you can focus entirely on where you are going rather than how you are getting the gears to cooperate. It is a feature that makes urban riding dramatically less stressful, particularly in the kind of dense, unpredictable traffic that Bangkok and Hanoi operate at as a baseline condition. Yamaha's Blue Core technology gives it fuel efficiency that borders on embarrassing, making the $1,500 purchase price a somewhat theoretical concern, given that you will spend approximately nothing on fuel. The tubular steel frame is rated to absorb a decade of harsh street abuse without complaint. This is not a marketing claim. Blue-core-engined Yamahas in Southeast Asian markets routinely hit extreme mileage figures on basic maintenance because the technology was specifically engineered for riders who cannot afford for their transportation to have opinions about working correctly. Mainly domestic to Thailand at the moment, which is the only legitimate criticism available. Yamaha, the world needs the Finn. Make it happen. 12 bikes, from a $1,400 commuter benchmark to a $2,000 VVA-equipped sport bike to a $3,200 naked machine with 41mm Showa inverted forks. Every single one built in Thailand or Vietnam. Every single one shockingly good by any objective standard, and several of them impossible to buy without a globe-spanning importer hunt, which honestly just makes them more interesting. Southeast Asia has been building the world's motorcycles for decades. It turns out they have also been building some of the world's best ones, and most of us were too busy looking at European badge engineering to notice. Continue the ride and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. See you on the road. Vroom vroom.